Right, it's time for the breakdown. We're looking at Manchester United versus Arsenal. Different starts this season. Jim, everything's bouncing at Arsenal. What have you made of them so far?
I really like Arsenal. I know I do a podcast with someone and he's a big Spurs fan, and I've said for balance, Arsenal will be my team this year, just to wind him up, if I'm honest. But it's a good pick because they're doing pretty well. You know, winning 5 out of 5. I did a stream earlier today talking to an Arsenal fan, and we're talking about momentum. What would you mark it out of 10? They said 10. Arteta, 9. He would have been a 6 last year. It's all feeling really good with Arsenal. I think they've had an amazing window. They have spent a decent amount of money, but you have to if you want to be one of those top sides. And they look like the main challengers, obviously, to sort of stop Man City, because they are the only team above them at this moment in time. This is a real... Actually, is this a real test?
This is a test.
Yeah, because I guess it's the question then becomes, how good are Man United? So I think we all agree Arsenal look great. Odegaard looks wonderful.
Injured though.
And that could be a huge loss for them. But going into this game, for me, really, in name, of course, it's Man United and it's away. Last time they played, they lost 3-2. But is it Man United? Because you still haven't got those signings to come in. Will they play in this game, do you think?
Well, firstly, on the point of Arsenal United, I think this game has always been different. When Arsenal played United last season at Old Trafford, Arsenal looked good then as well, and they actually played United off the park. And I think Ronaldo scored a pen, and United somehow got through that game. It feels like that could easily happen again. But Arsenal have got something more this year. Like, there's something about them that it almost feels like and I hate to use they used to be soft and they're not anymore. That might change. But they've got a little bit of something that can get them over the line. United, on the other hand, they'll have Casemiro coming in. I don't think Anthony will start. It's very early to start him because he might have only been training for a day or two before he actually goes into the game.
Do you think him? It's a 30 minutes. We're struggling here. Get him on. Do you think it might be
not
even on the bench?
If it's me, I'm saying like reduce the pressure off him. Like, he's already coming in with loads of pressure. You chuck him in against Arsenal. If you lose that game 3-0, everyone's gonna be looking at him straight away. And then you have the whole thing of he's a waste of money and this, that, and the other.
But you bought a guy for 100 million. You've got to at least put him on the bench, haven't you?
But he's actually only signed on a Thursday. The game's on Sunday. So you could probably get away with it and give him an easier game. I just wonder, going into this game, does Ten Hag look at this as like, okay, we beat Liverpool. We scraped past in the last game, past Southampton. If we beat Arsenal, people might start looking at us as like, yeah, we're in business.
What, so you're saying he wants to lose? So there's too much expectation on his shoulders?
I didn't say that.
It's conspiracy stuff this week, mate. What's that about? How do you feel about Man United? Do you think they have turned the corner? I personally, I'm not sure. But yeah, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think time will tell on that, because the Liverpool game they played very well, but it sort of played into the hands tactically because they could, get at them on the counter attack. And Southampton looks really good this season. But they got the points. The interesting one for me is Arsenal. Just the sort of, like you said, that sort of intangible. There's a bit more resilience about them. And then I was there against Fulham at the weekend, and Mitrovic equalised, and he changed the tactics, and it worked. They just overloaded them. They dominated them, and they got the win, and then they did that against Villa as well. So Arteta's working well. He's changing the tactics when he needs to, and whereas before they probably lose them games or draw or drop points, we're sitting there, they're 5 after 5 in the top of the league.
Do you look at this game and think, for the first time, we're watching an Arsenal team against a team that you'd normally regard as competitive, say United, and we're actually saying, United aren't even really in the picture at the moment. Like, really, should the question be, how do United stop Arsenal? Arsenal have won 5 out of 5, and they are in form. United are not. They've won 2 games, but generally this season hasn't gone to plan. So how do they stop Arsenal?
I think they play quite similarly to the Liverpool game, to be honest. I think it's going to have to be on the counter-attack. I think it's another one, you've got to play these players at some point, but for Casemiro, it's a tough game to come into as well, because you have a very fluent Arsenal team that they pass the ball quickly. I think that good teams and good players do one of two things. They either make the game look slow, or they make it look like you're playing in fast forward.
Yeah.
And for Arsenal, I'm looking at them in this moment in time, and it feels like they're just popping it about. You know where the players are going to be. I look at average positions too much, and it's the same every single week. So to answer the question, I think there is maybe a spot on that, I guess on both sides really. I think for a lot of teams in the Premier League, in transition, getting in behind the fullbacks, that is where a lot of the space is, especially against the dominant sides, the sides that go to a 3-5-2 when they've got the ball, or actually it's almost like a 2-2, whatever it is. And so Ben White on that right-hand side with him tucking in, is there going to be space over on that side? Tierney will look to bomb on as that, out-and-out fullback, so there could be space there as well. So I think for the likes of Elanga, Rashford, Anthony, if you do want to get him involved, is maybe an option for you there as well. I think it's going to be on the counter-attack that they're going to have to be good. But actually the big thing is defensively. Defensively, it's going to be so important, isn't it?
Yeah, because Arsenal, as you said, they move around like chess pieces at the moment, and one moves and the other one pops in, and Jesus can suck you out, and then you've got Martinelli running beyond. Saka hasn't actually found full form yet. So I think Arsenal will be able to move United around much more than what Liverpool did. As you said, I think Liverpool was a very well-suited game to United. Arsenal moved the ball really quickly, and my boy, what am I going to say?
What's he called? Gavi, what was it? Gavi J?
I wasn't going to Gavi J. I was going to Granit Xhaka. GX. He's played in this a really strange position as almost like a box-to-box 8, but he just sort of sits in between the lines, and teams are really struggling to pick him up because he's so efficient in possession. But it really depends on Ødegaard. Ødegaard has become this player for them. They give him the ball and they just rely on him. A little bit like City do with De Bruyne. You give the ball and you know you're not going to lose it, and he'll create something for you, so people start moving. If he's injured, I don't know who plays in the 10.
Smith Rowe, maybe?
Yeah, but I don't know if Smith Rowe is the same sort of player that Ødegaard is. Weirdly, I think United is so suited to United.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it almost makes sense to give United the ball and be like, come on, then you come at us, because they can really expose him with pace at the back. Tomiyasu came off of Ben White. I thought that was quite an interesting one, because defensively he looks really good, but when he's sort of getting into them final thirds, especially when someone against Fulham, it's not as sort of comprehensive as you like to be, sort of get down the byline. That's not his game. So maybe that's an interesting one going forward for them. But what do we think, finally? Man United, Arsenal, Jim?
I think with Liverpool game in my mind, I think about it being at Old Trafford, and I do think that does play a part in this. I'm still going to stick with Arsenal, though, because I think Jesus is just pretty frightening at this moment.
That'd be 6 out of 6.
I think you're right with Jay. He looks like one step ahead, doesn't
he? New challenge for Martinez in terms of dealing with someone of his quality and his confidence right now. I'm going to go with a tough 2-1 victory for Arsenal.
No,
I'm going to go 1-1. I think it'll be scrappy. United won't want it to be open. Squeeze at a 1-1.
I'll go 2-0 Arsenal.
Oh, really?
How about that?
Wow.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.